4 years ago by the mayor of Seoul, and today has, I think, about 80 cities that come together from all over the world: Montreal, Bilbao, Seoul, Bamako, Sao Paulo, Taipei, etc. And the mayors were there to discuss together how to plan and also how to lobby themselves in the United Nations, at the World Bank, etc. And as bringing these networks together, we are one of the several networks that exist, with the idea that we want to bring this global vision, but which is an open vision. It's open and radical at the same time. It's radical in the sense that it really wants to change the system. It's not a reform vision, but at the same time it's plural and open to all who are working in this direction. Legal frameworks. We heard about this morning, how important it is to have a legal framework. Now sometimes it's really indispensable to be able to form a cooperative or an entity. If it doesn't exist in the country, then how do you do that? But sometimes it can be an obstacle as well. So one thing that we've seen is that what is needed is an environment that allows creative forms of collective enterprises, of citizens coming together, to be recognized and authorized to operate, rather than laws that define very in detailed manner, you know, what you have to do, how you have to do it, what authorization you have to have, etc., etc. We've traced the main laws that exist today. As you can see, they're all very recent. I think the oldest is from 2011 in Spain on social economy, but all the others are quite recent. Some are better on some sides, some are better on others. So if you're thinking about a law in the Czech Republic, you have many examples, and you can also work on where it worked and where it didn't. International institutions, as I was saying, are getting more and more interested in this, and especially when we look at the 2030 agenda, the issue is how do you localize the sustainable development goals? How do you make them real in the communities? As well as fora and meetings where we can exchange. One of the more interesting meetings in the last years has been the European Forum for Social Solidarity Economy, organized at the European Parliament by the GUE. I'll skip the examples, but I'll leave you this so you can have a reference. I had a part on the case of Catalonia, which is one of the, if you want, the more lively places where all of this is happening. But yeah, one of the interesting things they have is the strategy that they built together with the local actors and the municipality. And the budget for this between 2015 and 2019 is of 25 million euro for a city. So you can think that they're really investing in it, and it makes a difference. So, since we're towards a few minutes left, on one side we're trying to reinforce the movement and the vision of social solidarity economy, taking the practices and the examples that exist worldwide. On the other, we're trying to see how we can bridge and bring together the different movements. So what we're working on now is a 2-year process that we called World Social Forum on Transformative Economies. The World Social Forum is an initiative that started about 15, 16 years ago, not more, 2001, in 2001 in the city of Porto Alegre in Brazil, because at that moment it represented, if you want, the innovative way of doing participation and more direct democracy with the participatory budget and other forms that they had started using. And it was in just a position with the World Economic Forum in Davos, in Switzerland, where all the multinational companies and some governments met to strategize on financial globalization. So that was a different form of globalization that we were looking at. And here we're looking at how to bring together the forms of economies that are really transformative. There are several approaches. There are shared values, that's very important. We all share the same values, and there's some common action. So in Barcelona, there are at least 5 different families that are working separately, and that now they started to work together, and they're launching a call to do similarly all over the world, and then to meet in 2 occasions. So there's the whole feminist, care, and gender perspective economies. That whole part of the economy that is left aside in the capitalist system. Agroecology and food sovereignty. Natural, urban, and digital commons. The whole commons movement that with Eleanor Ostrom on became very important in rethinking, reconceptualizing the idea of public, which doesn't have to be state nor private. The social solidarity economy, cooperativism, and fair trade. And finally, all the world of financing, but in an ethical and solidarity way. So these are 5 streams that are trying to converge in one bigger stream, and they're transversal axis or thematics that we're looking at: public policies, education, cooperative media, and a different way of mainstreaming and communicating, etc. There will be 2 main meetings. One will be a preparatory meeting in Barcelona in April, 5 to 7 April next year, 2019, where representatives of the different existing organized forums will meet and build together the methodology to create this forum in 2020, which will be a much larger forum. We're expecting at least 10,000 people, but maybe more, from all over the world. And the important thing is building the alliances and the strategies together on very concrete projects and practices. You're doing a renewable energy collective, we're doing it as well. If RESCOP didn't exist, and that would be the place where it could be created. A way of bringing together the different forms, and so on. Dialogue with public institutions. We're going to ask public institutions, local, regional, maybe even state level, to come together. It will be right before the European elections, the first meeting after the second one, so we don't know how the new commission will be, and the new parliament. But still, we will have if you want, an agenda and a program that comes from the base. And most important maybe, we cannot do all of this if we don't try to change the narrative, the culture in which we live. We have grown up at least the last 2-3 generations in the idea that the economic success is growth, that we need to consume, that we can do anything with our resources in nature, and there's no boundaries. We have to completely change that vision. It's not anymore an individualistic vision, nor is it a state, totally centralized vision. It's community-based, collective ownership form. So this strong accent on self-management, on the capabilities of creating new relations, is the basis of the new narrative, and this is a new culture that we need young people to embrace and to strongly promote. And that's it. Thanks.